Hey, a lot of questions come in about priming the well, keeping it primed, not sure if the pump's working. Let's just go through some of this stuff and understand how this thing works. It's very simple, but like a lot of things, until you've seen it and understand, it's this big mystery. So, your well won't prime or it won't pump. Let's start from the easiest, the top, and work our way down into the well. First thing, we need to find out what's going on inside the pump. So we'll take the lid off. There's a nut in the back on most of these. These are all very similar, but you don't have to take this nut all the way loose. It's just a set nut. It allows this thing to hinge and lock in. So we'll take that loose, then we're going to want to pull this up. Now I made sure I got one that's been sitting and is kind of dirty. So you want to make sure, if you're not getting any pumping, you think you've got water coming up and it's not going anywhere. This is a leather gasket, grommet, that goes around a weight. This, make sure that it's not cracked or broken or coming apart, and make sure that this assembly up in here is freely moving. When you pull, here we are in a well. When you pull up, this is pulling water from up inside this chamber and allowing it to come out. When you push down, this mechanism here lifts up and allows water to refill the chamber. So if this is broken, cracked, badly corroded, it's not going to do that a pumping function. So check that first. Secondly, we need to know if this is holding water. So the next thing you can do is, just now that you've got this off, take you some water and just, without doing anything, just pour it in the top. It shouldn't go anywhere. Now, without a foot valve on this, or that helps even more with the water returning back into the well, it still should hold water in here for a while. It's going to seep and leak because it's leather, and it only does so much of a good job. But you should be able to pour water in here and it should set and stay. If it's not doing that, then you know you've got a problem here with the next assembly. So the next thing we do, take these two nuts off, and we're going to look and make sure that our gasket assembly is not cracked and leaking down, and that our flapper is clean and working. Things that can be wrong with this. This could not be on here. This could be cracked. You could have a stick, a big piece of trash or something that's right in here, that when this assembly comes back down, it's not allowing this to seal and keep water from flowing back out. So you'll need to check that. That's how hard this is to replace. It comes right off. Make sure that this is clean. This sits on here flatly, and it's able to flap and seal correctly. The way that these change is if you need a replacement, and you can see mine, well, it's hard to see. I've got a little bit of split in mine right here. And this because it's not leather. This is a rubber one, which I don't think work as well or last as long. But it's splitting around here, so this would cause it to seep a little bit. But all it is this weight with a little nut on it. You take it off, and you have a little thing that looks like well, you can see. That's exactly what it looks like. And that's all there is to that. That is the main thing to make sure your pump is holding water and functioning correctly. The next step is to start working with the pipe. So let's get this stuff here moved out of the way. You see, I do all these, or usually do all these videos on the fly. Not a whole lot of editing. I try to keep stuff ready. But now we pull our pipe up. Here is the top of our pipe. Now, you see this one here, it's cracked. Well, there'd be a good reason that I'm not getting water as I'm pulling, it's running right back out. It cannot keep, it can't transfer the water from the pipe to the pump because I've got a crack on it. So there would be a good indication. The other thing, if you have piece pipes together, like this one, this may not be holding water very well. I'll show you a way to check that. And finally, where, again, like I tell people, this is the thing that if you got a shallow well, just go ahead and put a foot valve on it. It saves you all kinds of trouble. Next thing to do, check your foot valve, take it off, make sure it is free and clear of debris. You'll just unscrew that, and again, you don't even have to unscrew this. Just get you a bucket of water. This thing is on spring activated. It moves up and down. You can shake it, like put it in a bucket of water, shake it around, and get any garbage out that may be in it. Okay, and the other thing to do is just generally check your pipe for cracks. A simple thing we can do with this pipe, which depending on the length may not be simple, but it's not a hard thing to do. Get you some water, pour in your pipe, and just if you got a foot valve on it, it's not going to run out. And just kind of cap the end and watch your pipe. If you see water seeping out somewhere, you've got a crack in your pipe. And again, that's a big indication of how you might have a problem. So, those things being said, those are the straightforward things that you can do to check your pump and to make sure that it is functioning correctly. When in doubt about these pieces, go ahead and clean them off, and it doesn't hurt to replace them. I think this little gasket here is probably $5 or $6, and the little flapper thing is, I don't know, $2, $3, $4, something like that. You could go ahead and replace all those if in doubt. And on another video, I will show you basically how to put one of these things together. But I will say this up front, when you install this gasket right here, and this goes for a brand new pump and trying to get this thing to work in a well, this is leather. It has to be soaked. It needs to be wet. The leather has to expand and get pliable, so when it is inside of this housing, it forms a good suction and allows it to pull the water up. Being dry, it's not going to do that. It's just going to scrape along the sides and not do a whole lot. Anyway, I hope that helps people understand how this works and what you can simply do to check and make sure your well is will hold prime, and maybe the reason that it's not pumping the way that it should. As usual, good luck with your projects.